You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it.
The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, howdy, stranger. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolfdog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Well, howdy doody, partner. How are the fuck are you?
I'm doing just fine. Let's not forget Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
No
know what you're doing. You
No
guys
pressure.
I don't know what you do.
Just say what you want to say there, partner.
I can't do it.
Come
Hi,
on,
guys.
partner. Say something. Say something, partner.
We need to get you some
Yes.
improv classes.
You're such knuckleheads.
All right, gang. Well, we are now off of our third win of the season against the
A win,
Cleveland
people.
Browns.
Just in case we all forgot, we did win.
It was a dub.
See this side's win, this side's loss. That's a check over here.
Check it.
Visual.
File it in the cabinet.
It's a visual representation.
All right. Well, we've got lots to talk about. Obviously, there's a lot of back and forth from folks. Some records are getting broken. We've got some tweets to talk about. And as always, we've got a Bolt Insight, a fan focus, and a extra hefty Ask Boltfam. I hope you're all ready. I hope
The
y'all
thickening.
Yeah, the thickening is about to go down. Let's start it off here with a tweet from Field Yates talking about shouting out Chargers kicker Taylor Bertolette after being cut by 8 NFL teams kicking in the AAF, USFL, and CFL. Bertolette was signed by the Chargers this Thursday. He made his NFL debut today, making all 6 of his kicks, including a go-ahead field goal in the 4th. A cool story in perseverance.
He literally got there in time to basically get on the flight to go to the game.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't get a badge. He didn't get like the code to get into the building. They literally handed him a helmet, got him on the plane, and he went to Cleveland. That's crazy.
And he was perfect. 6 for 6.
Did just what he needed to
And
do.
you're looking around the league at other teams that have backup kickers, like the Chiefs missing kicks. The
Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns missing kicks, and we were freaking perfect.
Yeah.
Granted, they were all inside the 30. We should have scored those as touchdowns.
Dude,
but
how many extra points have we seen shanked in the
It's
NFL?
so true. It's so true.
Plenty.
Yeah, there's no givens.
So yes, awesome story for
Congratulations,
Taylor.
Taylor.
Congratulations, sir. We'll see if we need to use his services again next week. It still remains to be seen. Los Angeles Chargers tweeted out Austin Eckler 8th career game with rushing touchdown and receiving touchdown. God, this graphic is so small.
Little
What is
font.
this, a graphic for
What
ants?
is this?
Needs to be at least 6
Ow.
times the size.
Ow.
Surpassing Hall of Famer LaDainian Tomlinson for most in Chargers history. 8th career game with rushing touchdown and receiving touchdown.
Crazy.
What a stud. What a dude. What a guy.
Undrafted.
Undrafted, folks.
And he's coming on so strong right now.
Where
Like, it's
was he the
insane.
first 3 weeks, boys? How do you keep him from, like, I'm confused about how he wasn't doing this all season. It's just all of a sudden.
It just clicked.
I don't know,
Things
dude.
just click, man, and they are clicking
Don't-
and rolling with him right
The
now.
only thing you can really say that's different is our left tackle's different. So that's the only thing you can say. But I don't think that really has a difference, or maybe just the scheme is running the ball.
Maybe.
But that's really all
Well,
that's changed.
As soon as Herbert got hurt, all of a sudden this guy's just a maniac.
He's a maniac. Maniac on the gridiron.
Yes,
You're welcome.
true. Austin
You're
Eckler
welcome.
killing it right now. Brian Baldinger tweeted out Jamari Sawyer can't. Did I not
Said that
say
funny.
it right?
You said it
Ball
funny.
digger.
Baldinger tweeted out Jamari Sawyer can't ask anything more from your new rookie left tackle going up against Miles. Herbie was barely touched in 35 pass attempts, good, consistent sets, and feet that keep him dancing. What a day for the Bulldog.
Bulldog, little bit
Georgia
bulldog.
football.
Wow. Yeah. So I guess it wasn't just a fluke week, his first
No.
week. He's
Wasn't a one-game
capable. And
fluke.
No,
yeah.
I
he did
mean,
it.
he's Herbert definitely had to do some moving here and there, but still 0 sacks. I mean,
There was one technically they gave it a sack.
Really?
Yeah, they
When he
counted it as a
slid or
sack.
something?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Oh,
it wasn't a
come
real
on.
sack, but it counted
Oh,
on the
come
box
on.
score.
What are we doing here?
I know this shit.
Well, let's look over at NFL Rookie Watch, who tweeted out Zion Johnson in week 5, 40 pass blocking snaps, 0 pressures allowed, 0 hurries allowed, 0 sacks allowed. The Chargers rookie guard had himself a game. So fantastic.
It's clicking, man. They're all getting the praise on the same game. That's how you run for over 250 yards.
What a freaking weird time. This is like the offensive line is the only thing that we're really not worried about right now. Like even after losing Rashawn Slater, it's like, yeah, still doing great, still clicking, still making stuff happen.
That's been our Achilles heel for years.
It's
Decades.
amazing. Yeah, it's
crazy.
amazing. Daniel Pomper tweeted out, right tackle Trey Pipkins has an MCL sprain per Brandon Staley. Indication right now is that Pipkins will not miss any games, Staley said. So
And
that was
another
Contract
thing.
year.
I feel like I have to apologize. I want to apologize to Trey Pipkins for all the shit I talked on him in the offseason.
dude, I think everybody does
Like
right now.
seeing Storm, I went back and watched some of that. Seeing Storm Norton go in the game, like can't ever have it. It can't happen again. And he's so strong there. Like Pipkins is holding his own, and I just from the depths of my heart, I am very sorry, Trey Pipkins.
Yeah, I think that was one guy that we in our instant reaction we talked about who might get the game ball. None of us said Trey Pipkins, and granted, he gave it to the entire offensive line, but they said give it to Pipkins. And so seeing Pipkins holding that game ball and holding it up and that big smile that he had, I mean, it just made you forget every bad thing that he ever did. It was just
100%.
like, oh man, this is his moment. Give him this moment. This was awesome to see. And yeah, for a guy to get injured, to have his MCL sprained mid-game, leave, and then come back in and play and continue to
Still
play
be able to
well.
perform.
Pound
What a
it,
stud. What an absolute
Yeah.
guy. Hopefully the MCL sprain isn't anything more than just some tough
An
pain.
owie.
Yeah.
An
Yeah,
owie.
An owie, as Brandon Staley would
What
say.
a coach's owies.
Daniel Popper tweeted out J.C. Jackson was targeted 9 times yesterday per PFF. He gave up 5 catches for 58 yards and a touchdown. Jacoby Brissett had a 112.3 passer rating when targeting Jackson.
Yikes.
I think honestly, I made a joke about it, but that little extra bone in his foot, I think that was the
was
difference.
his lucky bone.
That was his lucky bone, the lucky boner. It's tough. It's tough. Hopefully he pulls his head out of this and really gets in there.
Well, is he still recovering from that,
It's gotta be.
It's got to be.
It's gotta be something there.
So
Because
he's not at full speed yet.
no.
No, I mean,
But Mike Davis had 0 snaps in the game on
Right.
Sunday, defensive snaps. So it's kind of confusing what's going on with their defensive backfield with
Mhm.
you're sitting Nazir Adderley. Mike Davis doesn't get a single snap on Sunday with JC struggling pretty heavily.
Right.
Zont's the one guy, and Bryce Callahan's pretty much a stud, but
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
just kind of a weird, unsettled, uncomfortable defensive backfield right now.
Right. Yeah. The J.C. Jackson made mention that like the extra little piece of bone really didn't start bothering him until he got to L.A. And then they were like, we got to get the surgery done. And yeah, still recovering from it, still trying to get back into the 100% category. So we'll find out if that gets better against Monday night with the Broncos. But regarding the play, the 4th down call, Coach Staley on his decision to go for it on 4th down. This is a quote from Staley. He said, "We believe in our process. We believe in our players on both sides. We were coming out here on the road to win this game, not kick it and then go hope to win. I believed our defense would get a stop if we didn't make it because I knew that we could cover them. You got to live with it when it doesn't go down. We went for it on the first drive and it didn't go down, and we were willing to live with that, but we know what that means to our group by playing that way. There's no way I was taking our offense off the field at the end of the game."
There's just been so much like divisiveness between our fan base with this, and
Right.
it's from my point of view, it is something he's always done. This isn't a surprise. So if you're going to go into future games and get pissed off at this when it doesn't work, you just got to prepare yourself for that, because he's been consistent about how he deals with these situations. It was a slight surprise that it happened. But really, if you look back at everything he's done so far, it's not. It really isn't. So just prepare yourself that this is probably going to happen to you as a Charger fan again. If you hated this and were calling for his head, which we just won the game. It's just, there's a lot of people came out of the woodwork, and I was just so confused by a lot of these statements, a lot of these comments. I know they were frustrated and upset, but this is, if you're watching Charger football the last 2 years.
Why were you frustrated and upset? We won.
All right.
But that's not good enough. That's not good enough for people.
Right.
They're pissed. And
everyone's response is, what's my right to be critical? Well, I have the right to go eat dog shit, but I'm not going to do it.
it's
you
my
have the
right.
You have the right to do whatever you want, but
Right.
it's just completely useless.
Right.
What are you're upset that he went for it on fourth down. If he gets it, game over.
Right.
We needed 2 yards with one of the, I think, top 5 wide receivers in the NFL right now against a rookie.
Right.
With your all Pro Bowl, all world quarterback throwing to him.
Right.
I want that. How many times as a Charger fan have we seen in that same situation, Coach Lynn punt the ball down,
return for a touchdown
it for 40 yards.
Yeah.
They have 10 seconds on the clock. They throw a ball down to the 20, they kick the field goal and they win.
Many times.
Is there a chance of that happening?
Of
Yes,
course.
that
Of course.
could have happened. Could we have gotten the 2 yards first down into the game? Yes, there's a chance of that happening.
Right.
This is a game that we're playing.
Right.
There's chances for it to go all over the place. We could have had the punt blocked. They pick it up and run it back for a touchdown. There's a chance of that happening too. He wants the ball in his best player's hands and to go and win the football game.
Yeah.
I get behind that.
100%.
Especially looking at how Mike Williams had played the entire game. I mean, the guy was catching contested
Dominant.
balls left and right. Why wouldn't you throw
The
it
play
again to
call,
that guy?
The play call you can be upset about. Be critical of the play call. The decision to go for it, that's who Staley is.
That's the identity. If you can say there's
an
an identity about Staley or this team, is that they are more often than not going to go for it on fourth down.
Well, it's the three things. It's the decision, it's the call, it's the execution.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like not mad that we went for it. It's the play call. But then you look back, who's the play call? You're calling for Staley's head. That was not Staley's call. I can't imagine that was Staley's call. He puts that in Lombardi's hands.
Right.
And the execution wasn't there. Those are two things that they needed to all come together and they didn't.
Right.
So I'm not mad at it. I probably was a little surprised by it, to be honest. But then in
100%.
hindsight, that's what he's done. That's his MO. Like, why are we surprised by this? We shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, and two, Twitter has become this place that people can just scream whatever they want.
It's
their right
for them
and
to
they're
get
allowed
their
to
feelings
do
out.
what you want.
Yeah.
Right. They're screaming into the void that is Twitter. And sometimes the void talks back. Not always, but sometimes it does. And it's a way for people to just release their emotions. I mean, the same people are celebrating that we got the dub.
Yeah.
But it is surprising to see the amount of criticism for,
Even Keenan Allen.
Even Keenan
chimed in
Allen
a little bit.
was chirping up a bit.
Which was
So,
surprising, honestly. It
Do
was
you
surprising.
think, though, if Keenan Allen's there playing, he's
No.
the one that we're throwing to,
And
is
it's
he
a-
upset
could be.
about going for it on fourth down?
No.
No.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we have to move on.
Yeah.
Or I guess not. It's your right to want Brandon Staley fired too.
Right.
It's so confusing. I'm just so confused.
Right.
We
Yeah.
don't want the conservative coach that's going to punt the ball. We don't want the aggressive coach that's going to go for it.
Right.
Like, what do we want as a fan base? What are we hoping for here?
Well, first and foremost, not everybody's going to be happy. You can't make everybody happy.
In everything.
In
every
every aspect
fact of life. You
yeah.
can't make everyone happy.
Right. Let alone Chargers football.
Exactly.
Our fan
So-
base is just slightly toxic. I guess every fan base is, though.
Every fan base,
just-
it's their right to be upset, and it's our right to ignore, and it's our right to, be shamelessly positive about a freaking win. It was a win.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, seriously. 3-2. The Raiders took a hard L tonight, which is beautiful to watch as well.
yeah,
1-4.
right.
Sweet.
Tied for the worst team in the league. Congratulations, Raiders.
Suck it.
Looking at the game, it was a heinous game. The Chargers started off down 14-0. It was just
Let's
like,
talk
what
about
is
that
happening?
too. Kyle Vanoy tweeted, everyone's pissed off about, we spotted them 14 points to start the game.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the offense came flying back. Like, that was a total team W
Right.
after that. And we had the momentum. We were going, I don't know.
They shut him out in the fourth quarter. This defense usually bends at the end of the game and not at the beginning. And it was a flip-flop this time. And that was promising for me, seeing our defense step it up and make some big plays. And the interception, when you say like the people are saying like the Browns gave it to us. So tell that to Alohi Gilman.
Yeah.
Tell that to Austin Eckler, who had crazy days.
Right.
They didn't give a shit. We got opportunistic moments, and they went our way.
Right.
It's luck. There's moments of luck. They didn't
Right.
hand us shit. We took it.
Right. There's been too many times that the Chargers have been on the opposite end of that.
Yeah.
And now that it goes our way, we're going to be upset. Come on now.
Come on now.
I mean,
People are going to be pissed off of this too. I mean, people are listening.
Which
like,
is fine.
You guys are fucking idiots.
Right.
Like,
Why are you guys so
hey,
positive?
we never said we weren't.
Why are you guys so happy?
Just
Why
like
are
our
you
opinion,
like
man.
win so much? So, I mean, and the one thing that, I think a lot of people are finally talking about, we talk about Eckler finally, showing up.
I love Austin Eckler, by the way. Just side point.
Who saw the Chargers having more rushing yards than the Browns? We were terrified about the Browns running game.
Yeah.
About Nick Chubb and who's the other one?
Kareem
Hunt. And they get 213 rushing yards. Chargers get 238.
But Austin Eckler had 173 rushing yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a game.
Holy shit,
Get outta here.
man.
Yeah. That's insane.
And Joshua Kelly,
173.
173.
Yeah.
It's insane. And
10 yards a carry he averaged.
And then Joshua Kelly, I don't know if maybe Lombardi listened to us last week because I had some pretty strong, I think, good points about Joshua Kelly.
You did,
and it worked
sold
out
him.
pretty well, I think. Just saying, maybe.
It did.
Almost 5 yards a carry as well.
Yeah.
I think after seeing this and after seeing Sony Michel get one carry, I think it might be Isaiah Spiller time next week.
I would love to see it. I mean,
It could happen.
That was one of the things that Staley talked about as far as benching Nasir Adderley and bringing out Alohi Gilman was like he wants to see some competition. He wants to see some guys fighting for the position. Why not
Where's
do
our
that
boy
for the running
JT
back?
Woods too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, but why not see that in the running back room? Sonny Michel, we brought him in.
He clearly is willing to bench Nas Adderley.
Right. Why wouldn't you
Anything is
bench
possible to
Sony
make
for
the
Isaiah?
team better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, had himself a hell of a game. Mike Williams, too. Hell of a game. 134 receiving
Dude,
yards.
he's just stepped up
I'm
so
so glad
hard
we
with Keenan's
signed him.
absence.
Yes.
Shit, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's so big.
And Austin Eckler, if you thought 173 rushing yards was enough, he also had 26 receiving yards. Throw that on top of there. 199 all-purpose yards, almost 200 yards.
Oh, he
for
missed
Austin
it by
Eckler.
a yard.
Missed it by a
Go
yard.
back
dude.
there. They got to go back and watch
Redo
film and
the
find
Let's
game.
that
go
extra
through
yard,
this. Let's
dude.
count these. That's got
There's
to be
got to
too
be a
Hondo.
third of a yard 3 times in there somewhere.
Right.
I think he might get slimed again this week. It could happen.
It could happen. I don't know a
pretty
running back
bald
that had
head.
a better game.
I don't know. I think anybody did.
I do know that Austin Eckler is up for the FedEx on ground player of the week. So
Let's go vote, please. Let's get him
Come on,
in. Let's
guys.
get it for him. I know
Yeah,
it's
I get Justin. He's gotten a lot. It's kind of like whatever. He's already won it a gajillion times. Eck needs some hardware. Get
Right.
something put up in the background of that.
take your
Twitch stream.
frustration and apply it towards hitting the vote and refresh button.
Exactly.
Get angry about it. I want you to get angry about it. All right. Hit
Well,
that button with some force.
And think about it. This is a good opportunity to get him more out there for when the Pro Bowl votes happen this year.
Easy for you to say.
This is
Pro Volt
was not easy for me to say. I had a very difficult time with that, Adam. Thank you for pointing it out. But yes, that will help with the Pro Bowl voting.
Yes.
Let's get his name out there a little more. Please, let's get him.
If anybody
accolades.
deserves it, it's this guy right now. The guy is putting
Absolutely.
in so much work and coming alive. Again, it's clicking, it's working. Let's ride this streak and let's show him as a fan base how
That's
much we
right.
appreciate him. That's right.
That's right.
If you want, you can ride on over to our website, chargerchat.com, where you can check out all
Solid.
the cool stuff we've got over there, t-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. You can chat it up with other Chatteteers in our Charger Chatteteers in our member section and ask questions and Ask Boltfam. So go check it out, chargerchat.com. All right, gang, it's time to go on to the next segment. It is Bolt Insight. Let's see who is on the agenda for today.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we're back with another Bolt Insight, and we are super lucky to have Guillermo from Die Hard Bolt Club Santa Barbara. What is going on, my friend?
What's up, man? Hanging out, man. Excited to be here. I'm especially excited because I got to come here the Monday after a victory.
Victory Mondays.
I don't gotta be sad about a loss or anything, or upset. Not really sad. I'd be really upset if we were to have lost that game yesterday.
Amen, brother. I feel bad for whenever we have these scheduled and somebody comes on after a loss. It's like, fuck, we're gonna have fun, but that kind of sucked. So
yeah. No, I'm excited to be here, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely, man. We're excited to have you and learn a little bit more about your chapter and everything. But before we do that, man, we got to find out, how did you become a Charger fan?
Wow. I became a Charger fan like 7th grade, I believe. I was still in junior high. So yeah, I didn't have cable at the time. So I would watch games, whenever I got the opportunity, to watch a game, my parents, who just didn't have cable. Like, I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah.
I guess it was their way of saving money, for other things. But yeah, just whenever I would get a chance to go to my friend's house or like my aunts or uncles, I'd watch games there. Family team. I have a cousin who's older cousin. So imagine me as a young kid, I looked up to him.
Sure. He
was a Chargers fan. I'm automatically a Charger fan. So now my whole family, basically, we're all Chargers fans except for my dad. I'm not going to even shout out his team.
I'm not even going to say it. Well, we won't even say it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. And it's so cool. I love talking to the Diehard Bolt Club chapters that are further away from LA, because it's a different kind of fan. It's a different kind of energy. Finding fans that are far away and not always able to interact and really get together with other Charger fans, it's really important. So tell us a little bit about, this is a new chapter. The Santa Barbara chapter is new. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about getting that started and what the kind of reaction, how many Charger fans are up there?
Yeah. So the reaction has been absolutely incredible. We had I would say about almost 30 applications.
Oh, wow.
On the night that it was announced, right? Enrique has a closer relationship with Leslie, the president. So they were the ones that really got the ball rolling. I don't know a lot about what happened behind the scenes, but she had become a member. And I guess it was just in the plans to start a Santa Barbara County chapter. And we're here because of it, and we've just been getting the ball rolling. It's been super exciting. People are just excited to finally have something for them that they can go to. We have watch parties for people to go to, that they can go and watch games with people who love their teams just as much as they do.
Yeah.
Watch party yesterday was absolutely insane. I would say, rough estimate, there was about 60 people there.
Nice start, dude. Off to a good start on that one.
Second week, I'm not complaining,
Totally.
But it was so cool to see the level of excitement. There was a bunch of F the Browns, like, let's go Chargers, and it was cool to experience like that, because we're so used to being the complete opposite, right? Sure. I think we lost the game to the Browns field goal like 4 or 5 years ago. I don't recall, but it was cool to see the script for this one.
There's nothing like a win like that where you pull it out last minute and you like look over and you see a Charger fan and you lock eyes and it's like, what? You know what I mean? Like that energy, it's hard to replicate that unless you're with a Charger fan. I was lucky I was working, but I had Wool Dog right next to me, and the look we had, it was like, holy shit, did we just pull that off? Did you guys have a little bit of that at those watch parties?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there was a lot of frustration, obviously. A lot of questionable play calling, so people were upset, and
sure,
that was our last hope, right? We had to miss the field goal. That was the only way that we were going to win the game. And yeah, it was the level of excitement. Like they say, a win's a win. As frustrating as it was, a win is a win. And to see and experience the level of excitement, not just me in my house watching on TV, right? But with a bunch of Charger fans around me. It's the best feeling ever. Who doesn't want to be a part of something like that?
Absolutely, brother. Well, and tell us a little bit about, if somebody wanted to, kind of come join and be a part of some of these watch parties. You said you do some interesting stuff where you kind of split your time where you do watch parties so more people in the area can come. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. So what we're doing now is alternating locations, right? So there's a city Leslie and I, the president, and I'm the vice president. We live in Santa Maria, so we're about an hour away from Santa Barbara. You're about an hour away from the furthest city in San Luis Obispo County. So to try to accommodate both counties, since we are the closest county to San Luis Obispo County, we have a meeting or a watch party that's an hour away from the people furthest away, in San Luis Obispo County. And then we have another watch party the week after in Santa Barbara. So just to try to accommodate both, counties, we'll have a watch party in Nipomo, California, which is closer to Santa Maria, a little bit closer to San Luis Obispo County.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll alternate the next week. We'll go to Santa Barbara and have our watch party there. So it's only been 2 weeks where we're sort of testing the waters still to see if it's a good idea. If it's a better idea to only have it in Nipomo or to only have it in Santa Barbara, we're going to figure it out.
It's cool you guys are doing that and making it a little easier for people to come to the games, because that's important, like be able to come and watch.
Yeah, and not just that, we can offer to like carpool, if for some reason we end up only doing it in Santa Barbara,
Yeah.
We can carpool. People can come to Santa Maria and they don't have to waste that much gas to get to Santa Barbara,
Sure. I love it, dude. That's awesome. And then
we try to accommodate everyone, everyone deserves to be a part of the diehard Bolt Club.
Let's go, man. Well, on that's a great segue. If somebody wanted to get involved with the Santa Barbara chapter, what would you recommend they do, and how should they reach out?
Yeah, definitely. So what I would recommend is that you fill out an application. They're in the link in our bios in both our Instagram pages and our Twitter pages. So you can click the link on bio. There's a link that says application for DHBC SB. You click on that. It's going to ask you a few questions, your favorite player, past and present, things of that nature. Why do you want to join the club? Your social media handles. And yeah, just go ahead and fill out that form. Or happen to see that there's a watch party. We'll get to meet you there. We'll get you more informed. I'll personally get your number down, send you the link, and we'll get the ball rolling.
That's awesome, man. Let's get these watch parties up to like 200 people in Santa Barbara, man.
Yeah,
Let's
definitely.
roll.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Yeah. It's a good turnout for our first 2 weeks.
Yeah, you guys are really off to a start, dude. You're killing it.
It's exciting to see, and I'm excited for what the future holds. And
well, we appreciate all you're doing. Growing the fan base and getting everyone more engaged up there. That's all that matters is getting more diehard fans, because we need that as a fan base. So let's get you out of here on this, Guillermo. Big game coming up Monday night. We're playing the Donkeys. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
What do you think the score is going to be?
I think we're going to dominate. I really do believe this is going to be the game. We're going to dominate. We got the ball rolling on offense. Let's keep it going. We have a few things, that need a little bit of correction on defense. And I think, to be fair, they did a lot better the second half than they did the first half.
Sure.
If they can start off on that same foot, I think we're going to dominate, especially against an offense like that, a horrendous offense. They look horrible.
So boring.
We should not lose that game.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 27-10.
Whew, I love it. It's a good score. Awesome. Well, we're excited for that. We're excited for what you're doing up there, man. Keep it up. And we really appreciate you coming on, Guillermo.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. Bolt up. Let's go.
That's right. All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, Guillermo, let's go from Santa Barbara, getting 60 people at a watch party, man.
I love to see these new chapters pop up, man. It's like we were talking about, like, you're with somebody that's a Charger fan. Mm-hmm. It is completely different than being on the couch by yourself watching the game.
Yeah. Oh,
being able to like connect and be like, talk each other off the ledge or celebrate with each other. There's nothing like it.
Right.
So, if you're around one of these watch parties, go check it out. Just experience what it is being around other awesome Charger fans. Cause there's nothing quite like it, man.
Right. In the age of 2022, folks, there are opportunities to connect with other Charger fans. You don't have to be alone on your phone tweeting out mangry things. You can be with other people that can get you back up, lift your spirits up. That's what we are. We're the Bolt fam, folks. That's what we do. We help each other out. And Guillermo over in Santa Barbara is doing just that. So Guillermo, thank you for coming on and chatting with Kevin.
Brother.
We really do appreciate it. Let's move it on now to our next segment, Fan Focus. Let's go.
All right, guys, we are back with another Fan Focus, and we are super pumped to have Chris from Oceanside. What is going on, my friend?
Oh, Victory Monday.
Ooh, feels good. Feels a little weird, but it feels good.
I'll take it. 1 million points. I'll take it.
That's the Charger in me is like, dude, I'll want it. I'll take that. I have no problem with how it went down. Just give me the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy game. We'll get into that a little bit, but let's kick this off how we usually do, man. How did you become a Charger fan?
So I was born in Washington, D.C., but we moved to California when I was 2. My mom was like a huge Washington fan. I can't remember what they're called anymore, but so I grew up like as a little kid, a fan of the Washington team. And then one year, like my mom brought me to an autograph signing, and she had a broken ankle. So she was on crutches. Well, it was a Junior Seau signing.
Oh, wow.
And we're standing there in the back of the line, and some guy comes up and he's like, hey, Junior saw you standing here and he doesn't want you like waiting in line on crutches. So why don't you come up to the front of the line with us? And so we got to we got to like hang out with Junior for like an hour, and he was like super cool. And, I've been like to other autograph signings where they're kind of just
crank them out.
They don't even recognize the faces. And it was super cool that he took the time to kind of look at the line and bring us up. And, he totally didn't have to do that. So afterwards, I asked my mom, I'm like, so who was that guy? Was he pretty good? And she's like, yeah, he's actually really good. So I'm like, well, I'm going to follow this guy. And ever since then, I've been a Chargers fan. So
I love it, dude. The Seau path. That's a strong path. That was like when I first saw Charger football, Seau was like my first memory of just him lighting people up, and the energy he had was insane.
So, the funny thing is, so like the year before, I'm pretty sure like the Redskins had won the Super Bowl. And then the year after went 94 when we went. Like,
oh, wow.
All right. Well, I guess
good timing.
I'm pretty good at picking teams.
Nice, dude. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about, going to games, because you've clearly have gone to a lot of games over your tenure as a Charger fan. What has this season been like for you? Because I know we met at the Raider game and you went to the second home game. What's the energy been like for you at games this year?
So it's been great. I mean, the Raider game, I went last year as well. And I mean, it was like 90-10 Raiders fans. And up until the third quarter, and they started leaving.
Yeah, trickling out.
But this year, I'm very impressed because it's, it was a good like 60-40-ish, and which is even back at Qualcomm, that was a good day.
Yeah, it was a huge day.
And so I'm very impressed. The Jacksonville game, as much of a heartbreaker as it was, I think I saw one Jacksonville fan there. So like that was great to see. We're definitely a fan base is showing out. Hype is building for the team. So that's really good to see. I didn't get to go to, I went to like 3 games at StubHub.
Mm-hmm.
I had season tickets at Qualcomm. And so, at StubHub, I didn't like it was always 90-10. So
yeah, it wasn't the best. I went to a couple games there. It was a little different.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a cool experience. I mean, there was not a bad seat there. So there was no nosebleeds. So
yeah, exactly.
That was the shamelessly positive view of StubHub.
Amen, brother. So tell us a little bit about, this last, let's talk about this last game. We have to. Okay. It's like everybody and their mom has an opinion on that 4th down. But I want to talk about like the lead up to that, because there's so much went right for us that was so different. What were some of your takeaways from, the earlier parts of that game?
Well, all right. Shout out to Senior Snappy, because I finally realized why he's doing kettlebell squats in the parking lot. It's really just to build up his cardio to get to the 4th quarter.
Yes, sir.
Like, I think maybe we need to start having like treadmills in Thunder Alley just to like build up our endurance.
The healthiest fan base in the league. It's a must.
But I think the game overall, I know Lombardi has gotten a lot of flack for his game calling, but I thought like the game plan was really good. I mean, who would have thought that we go into their house, the number one rushing team, and we outrush them?
Yeah,
like,
no one.
That was awesome to see. It's awesome to see that like we don't have to like put everything on Herbert. The rushing game can take over. Defense is still, still need to figure some things out there.
Yeah, let's say it nicely.
I think, Kenneth Murray seems to be like starting to get more involved. I love to see that. Asante is a beast.
Yeah, he's killing it.
And I mean, he missed almost half of last year. So he's really not even a full year in yet.
Yeah.
So he's just going to get better, I think. The one question I have is like, what did Jacoby Brissett ever do to get the Tom Brady treatment of like someone sneezes next to him and he gets a flag?
That was the worst pass, like the roughing the passer I've ever seen in my entire life.
And then, the fourth down call, we won. So, hey, that is what it is.
Saved you a little bit there, right?
I'm of the opinion, I watched the Norv Turner to Mike McCoy era back to back.
Yeah.
So whatever that isn't, like, let's do that.
Yeah, exactly. It just, if I don't see a punt ever, I'm going to be okay because I got enough of my fill with McCoy and Norv Turner, hands down.
So there's and as well as the offensive play calling, I remember the years of McCoy where it was just run it up the middle 3 times and then punt.
Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely finding themselves a little bit more. I think just incremental growth. We didn't blow it in the second half the way we had in previous games. We were competitive. Players that we needed to step up, stood up. So it was overall a crazy game. A lot of people feel like we didn't deserve it, but
we allowed 7 points in the second half.
Exactly. That is a 180 from what we've done in previous games.
So, I mean, more of that, all the other, like, the great thing is like, if we can keep winning and still find room for improvement, that's better than, coming in with L's every Monday.
Amen, brother. It feels better. Like, I was bummed at the whole thing leading up to it. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to make this kick. Didn't make the kick. I just like, we got the win. And I'm just moving on. Coach always says, we got to move on to next week when we lose. Yeah. We won, and I was ready to move on to next week. I don't want to talk. It's fine. It's a win. Let's go.
We still had a timeout left, and I was so happy Stanley didn't call a timeout. I was like, that would be like the most typical thing ever, that like he misses it, but there was a timeout call.
Yeah.
And he makes it like, so,
good point.
There was no timeout. All right, we won. Just get back on the plane.
Yeah, just get on the plane, get out of there before they change their minds. Let's go. Yeah, dude, that was crazy, and I'm excited. I love these fan focuses after wins because they're just so much more fun. Well, let's get you out of here on this, man. We got a game coming up this week, pretty big one, Monday night against the Broncos. You're going? Nice. Yeah. All right, we got to represent. Kyle will be there, so you gotta say hi to Kyle. What are your thoughts, man? What do you think this game's gonna be? What do you think the score is gonna be?
So their defense is really good. So I would not be surprised with like a 20-13, or 17-10, something like that. I mean, would I love to see a 44-0? Just blow them out, send them home.
Yeah.
My bold prediction is going to be on the Manning cast. They're going to have Pete Carroll. And as Pete Carroll and Manning are talking, J.C. Jackson gets his first interception.
Ooh, that is specific as shit. I'd love that. I'd love that. And then
Pete Carroll's going to be laughing because he gets like a top 5 pick for trading away Russell Wilson.
Okay. Oh, my God. I love that. We're putting that in. Yeah. That is a line. If you hit that, you're getting a shirt, my friend. We're sending you some swag. We're sending you some swag if you nail that. Chris, it was awesome meeting you, man. It was, meeting at the game was amazing. Having you on the show, doing all this, man. I really appreciate your time, and it was fun hanging out.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. I love the show. Keep doing what you're doing. I love just the amount of content out there.
Oh, so much.
Charger specific content. So it's great time to be a Chargers fan.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, man. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Well, Chris, it's nice bumping back into you again. We seem to bump into this guy like
He's the man.
more often than not.
I know.
It's amazing how often we find him, and now we've got him on the show.
It's official.
Making some pretty steep bold predictions, my friend.
I love how specific that is. I really
that's Back to the Future specific.
Yeah, that's big time. That's a sports almanac.
Does anybody see an almanac in his back pocket?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
I forgot we get the Manning cast treatment on Monday.
Right.
So we're gonna have to, I don't know if I'm gonna watch that. I might let's record that and then watch the regular broadcast and then go back maybe review that afterwards.
I'll be there, so I won't be able to watch.
Oh, there you go.
Humble
Coach will
brag,
be
bro.
at the game in attendance, folks.
Who are you taking?
My whole family, my wife, and all 3 boys.
Let's ride.
Yeah.
Let's ride the lightning, if
my
you will.
2-year-old turns 3 in like 12 days, so he has one more free game he's allowed in.
Oh yeah, get in there. It's like before those Disneyland passes expire. Sneak him in there. Let's go.
Once you're 3, you got to pay for him. So this is his last game for a while.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Well,
are you going to be slinging the baby?
Yeah, the baby will be on there. He'll have head buffs on, all of it. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. You guys got to go find Coach and give him a high five.
on it. All right. Well, Chris, thank you for coming on and chatting.
Thanks for riding the lightning, pal.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right, gang. Well, now let's go on to the extra chunky, slightly salty Ask Boltfam. There's some sweet in there too, but there's some salt in there. You got a nice mixture. Let's
Sour Patch
sweet
probably
salt.
tastes pretty good.
All right, let's go.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys. Go jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
That's right, gang. It's time for Ask Boltfam, and we started off with Boltville714, who asked the question.
Hey, what's happening, fools? I'm sad to say that unfortunately I'm writing to you guys from the hospital ICU. The doctors aren't sure what's going on with me. Apparently every week it seems I'm aging faster than the normal rate. They thought I was having problems with my aina or ruka, but I told them it wasn't that. They even sent a social worker to question me, and after the assessment I broke down and I couldn't help but let it all out. At first I kept blaming the bitch-ass Raiders, but that was like week 1, fool. That's when I realized all these years of being a Charger fan, watching close games after close game, my heart and nervous system had me on the floor having a mental breakdown, looking like the homie tour after this game.
Oh, shit.
Apparently, I'm not the only one suffering from the same symptoms. Luckily, the homies came through and are able to sneak in some Modelo's into my IV bag. So I'm getting better. Should be making a quick recovery soon enough.
Better.
In the meantime, though, fools, my question is, how many years do you think you've each lost of life rooting for this team, and how do you cope with your symptoms after each game? Lastly, how's your fantasy league going? Who's winning? I wish everybody a speedy recovery and hopes that everyone ready by next week. Bull fam, let's ride. Yeah, love you, bye.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, we've all.
I got the Modelo IV and I was just good. I was fine.
I'm gonna say I didn't always used to have this white in my beard. I think when I moved to Idaho and I started, investing
really
in the
getting
Chargers
into the
a little bit more.
Yeah,
this started to appear. So it's real. I'm sure I'm gonna die sooner than I was going to had I not been a Charger fan.
I don't know. It's good cardio work. Your heart rate gets up. It's good to get your heart rate up every day.
I don't know.
That's what the doctor says. It's good for you.
It's like riding a roller coaster. I say you take half of a year for every season you've been a Charger.
Whoa.
So you're looking at probably 15, 20 years by the end of it. So if you would have been 90, you're going like 74, something like that. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
Fair.
That's if 90 was the projection.
That's
what
most
if 7?
Always
what if
90.
70's the projection?
That's not looking good for you. You might want to take a break.
Not looking good.
Yeah, doctor says take a break.
Well, how do you cope after? What was the question? How do you cope with your symptoms after each game?
Well, Sunday, if the Chargers would have went down, I turned on that glorious Padre game, and my spirits would have been lifted.
Oh yeah,
because they absolutely demolished those Mets.
Creamed them.
Joe Musgrove is a hero. Okay, sorry, we're not a Padre.
No, this is gonna be a rough week on Twitter.
This is gonna be a really rough week.
As you know, we're all Padre fans.
Yes.
We're not here. We're not gonna talk shit with Dodger fans on Twitter. That's not what we're about.
Nope.
We're about the Chargers. But just know, Let's go Pods.
Where we
Feel
stand.
for us if things don't go our way, and
Yeah.
hopefully they do.
Hopefully they do.
But either way, we still love you and we're Charger fans.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, if for me, it's bowls of sugar and carbs, and whether it's a win or a loss. I mean, when it's something that close, your body is just like, God, give me something.
Need
give
something.
Me,
Yeah.
Need something now.
Give me a vice.
Give it to me. So,
yeah.
And then how's the fantasy league going? I don't even know where do we stand.
Up until this week, we were 3-1. We were the 5th ranked out of. I
don't like the way you said that.
16.
So
we just got our
took an L this week.
asses destroyed by guilty as charged. So
we took an L.
Those guys can and then we'll come back bigger, badder next time. So I think this is the opportunity for a shout out promotion. Go check out guilty as charged.
What's our record in fantasy football?
What a ringing endorsement.
I don't like losing like that. That was a
What's
bad
our record.
We are
3-2.
We're now 3-2.
What are the Chargers?
Just like the boys.
Like it.
Consistency.
Yeah, that's what's
We're
important.
synced up.
Across the board.
Yeah, we're synced up.
All
Still
right.
pulling for you, Brisket Broads, that first win.
Yeah.
And Coach
God.
Dave, 0-4. He's below the Brisket Broads
I
on
know.
points scored too.
Oh, wow.
I had a talk with him this week.
Oh man.
What
Did
is
you have to
wrong?
talk
What's
him
going
down?
on at home? Everything okay?
I don't know what's going on with
Doesn't
him,
like
man.
him.
That is not a good performance. It's
Kind of embarrassing me in front of my friends, Dad. Honestly.
That's low key what I was trying to get across to him.
Yeah.
Tighten it up.
Stop
Dave.
picking me up from school if you're going to do this stuff, okay?
Just slow the car down and I'll roll out.
Yeah,
Jesus.
meet me around the block because you're really embarrassing
Yeah, can you
me.
drop me off?
Yeah, drop me off over here.
All right. Boltville 714. Thank you for asking the question.
Love you, Dave. I was just kidding.
Let's move it on now to Staley's Nuts and Bolts.
Yep.
Who asked the question?
Perhaps my balls were too big on that 4th and 2. Will you guys forgive me?
All I can think about was South Park. We're bouncing on our balls. And they're just like bouncing around. Yeah, his balls are pretty heavy. And I'm not mad, dude. I've come to terms with it. People are upset. I'm not. I'm okay. I've moved on. I've
Nothing to forgive.
I was
Nothing to
shocked,
forgive.
but it's okay. We got the win. And it's going to happen again. So prepare yourself. If you don't like it now, you're going to hate it later.
Your balls.
Or you're going to like it later when we get it. So just be.
Last year we beat the Chiefs in Kansas City because of like
this.
4 of those situations.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's what it is. There's no forgiveness needed. You're clean.
You're all good. Staley's Nuts and Bolts. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Friar Bolt, who asked the question.
Is anyone else's asshole plugged after that game, or was it just me?
Oh, not again.
I went through every emotion throughout that game. Also, that Staley 4th down call got me feeling like I was going to pass out. Then seeing York miss that field goal gave me great satisfaction. Now it's on to face the wifeless donkeys and the coach who's got the brain of a toddler. Great team win, but please, my asshole can't take much more of this punishment. Otherwise, I'm going to need a colonoscopy. Bolt up and fuck the donkeys. Okay, love you, bye.
Sexy baby strikes again.
Yeah. Plugged? No. If anything, I was about to shit my pants.
Oh, yeah.
If anything, I was about ready to clear it out.
It was flowing.
Yeah, I feel for you, Friar Bolt, but add some fiber to your diet. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, careful, baby.
Yeah. Friar Bolt, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to a free.
Yeah.
Who asked the question?
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to A Bolt of Love, where we give shout-outs to our beloved Bolt players after a win. First shout-out of the night goes to Jamari Pancake Salia for putting up with Myles Garrett. Shout out to Joshua Kelly for snatching reps away from Sony Michel and showing him how a real man runs the ball. And shout out to the electric, eclectic, and relentless Austin Eckler for airing his guitar all over the Brownies defense. That gives me chills. Question for the CC team tonight is, what brand or product would you think would be a perfect fit as the spokespersons for our guys Herbert, Eckler, and Keenan Allen? Well, that's going to do it for me tonight. Hopefully we talk next week after a dub. Stay sexy, Bolt fam, because you know the vibes. We outside. Okay, love you, bye.
Good. Still love that catchphrase.
It's good. It's a good one. It should be a bumper sticker for you. Get on it. All right. So spokesperson, brand, product for Herbert Eckler and Keenan Allen. What do
as
all
a team,
three,
as like a trio?
I kind of think so. I think that's the idea. What do all three? What could they all promote? What product or service or
We're gonna stay away from State Farm because that's already been
the colors are
played
red
out.
too.
It's played out.
Feels like we need to put this bad boy in the air. You know what I mean? Maybe like SpaceX because they go to the moon and they're flying high and fast and furious.
They're out of this world.
Exactly.
Or
SpaceX
Tesla because we're electric.
Oh, come
on. Oh, shit.
Come on, Tesla.
This is very Elon Musky.
Yeah.
It's getting musky.
It's
up
getting
in here.
musky.
Elon. Something to do with Elon.
Yeah, something like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Tesla. Call us up. We've got 3 guys that need some sponsorships.
Yeah.
And we get a finder's fee for that, right?
Yeah, please so.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah. Including a
I
free.
think that's how that works.
Yeah. A free thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to House of Hain. Who asked the question? Well, we win another ugly one. I say, this time I didn't think we did enough to win. What do you think, Coach? I say, I'm glad we did. Don't get me wrong. Dub is a dub. I was already thinking bad thoughts. My game balls go to 30 in Covington for that 4th and 1 stuff. K, love you, bye.
Okay, here I have a point.
Oh,
I like
in
these.
this crazy fans of judging everything that happens. What happened on that Christian Covington 4th and 1 stop? Did we have to take a timeout to get the right personnel on the field to stop the run?
Mhm.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We took a timeout. We got Jerry
I
Tillery
that
off.
was the leading question. I was like, maybe?
We
I
took a
think so.
timeout. We got
Yes.
Jerry Tillery off the field, and we got Christian Covington on.
Gotcha.
Last year against the Raiders, week 18, we take a timeout to get the right personnel on, and everyone loses their effing minds thinking that they were going to take a knee or they were going to run out the clock and take the tie. We know nothing. So all of our
We
fans,
know nothing, Jon
all
Snow.
of our as fans, we love that Christian Covington made the play and it was a great substitution. 6 games ago, how dare he take a timeout and give them an opportunity to change their play call to try to get the right personnel on? This polarity of just whatever happens, you decide which just needs to rest. Sorry, that had nothing to do with House of Hain, but it was just it
was on your mind.
glaring at me. Just when he said Covington, I was like, oh yeah, we called a timeout to get the right guy on.
Sure.
Oh yeah, we did that in week 18.
We learned a
Everyone
lesson
hated
from
it.
a previous game. Weird.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So the W, what do you think, Coach, about the stuff at the end?
Yeah. At the time, it was an ugly win. What do you think?
Yeah, it was an ugly win, but it was a win. Like sometimes
That is
that's
a
going to
win.
happen. You know,
Right.
like the Chiefs looked all world 2 weeks ago when
Right.
they beat the hell out of, who was it? The Colts. They just absolutely annihilated. No, they lost.
Chiefs
to the
got
Colts.
lost to the
Chiefs
Colts.
lost to
But
the Colts, yeah.
they beat Tampa. They beat the hell out of Tampa. And I was like, oh wow, the Chiefs are awesome. Then they come out and they're getting shellacked by the Raiders. You could say that was an ugly win tonight. They were
It
down
was
14-0.
an ugly win, yeah.
I'd consider this
So-
more of an ugly sandwich. The bread was ugly. The meat was nice.
I don't know what that means.
Dev loves the
The
meat.
beginning and the end was a little rotten. Meat, fresh.
I got
The
it.
inside,
Yeah.
2 and 3. 1 and 2, 2 and 3. Feel me?
All right.
Feel ya. Yeah, it was an ugly win, but that's okay. They're not going to have. We've already proven that we're not going to have 17 perfect games,
Right.
Because that week 3 game was a real dud,
Right.
So get the wins the way you can, get into the playoffs, and we'll see what happens.
There you go. House of Hain, thank you for asking the question.
Thank
Moving on
you.
now to OM Run, who asked the question. Does the recent success of Eckler and Kelly make you feel good or even worse about the first 3 games? Also, why are the Chargers-Browns games so good? 2 games in, 2 years, we're must watch. I can't figure it out.
I feel good. I'm
Great.
not thinking back on the previous because Austin wasn't getting it going either. I don't feel like all of a sudden we know what our guys are. They just weren't getting going until recently. I'm excited that Kelly's playing though.
There's some guys, especially in the running back position. You need carries to start to feel like get in the feel of the
That's a good
game,
point.
start to get used
Rhythm.
to it, and just get your legs under you, start to see the field better. And I just feel like he wasn't getting enough touches. We were trying so hard to be conservative with him. Last year, he touched the ball a gajillion times, and he scored 20 touchdowns. The first 3 weeks, we were kind of trying to limit his touches, it felt like. And now we're a little bit more unleashing him and letting him get into the game and carry the ball consistently.
Right.
And this is what's happening.
5 touchdowns, 2 games.
Nothing but feeling good with the way that Eckler and Kelly are playing. I feel like we have our 1-2 punch.
I really want to see Spiller, man. I want to see him come in as that spell guy, get a couple carries, and maybe do something really cool. Because that's what that position is now. 1 or 2 carries, 1 or 2 plays. That's pretty much all you're getting is that third running back position.
Right. Which is fine.
So would you rather have Spiller for those 1 or 2 or Sony Michel? That's just the question.
For the future of the team, I would rather have a guy that we're going to hopefully develop and depend on in the future.
Exactly.
As opposed to Sony Michel, there's no development there. It's just a 1-year loner.
Right. Especially if he continues the amount of production that we saw from this last game. I mean, he had 1 carry and it didn't go anywhere. So, I would love to see that. And I think it's a good point about not getting reps, Kyle. I mean, we're talking about, none of our starters were playing in the preseason game. So they didn't necessarily get that opportunity, which is fine because now they come into the season healthy. But I think you're right. They need to kind of get that steam train going. Eckler's got it going. You love to see it. Run, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Bob Caldrone.
Bobby!
Who asked the question.
How do you guys feel about Keenan going straight to Twitter to voice his thoughts on 4th and 2? I wish he hadn't pressed send. Not a fan of that look from one of our leaders. Love you, bye.
I completely agree with you, Bobby.
Well,
kind of cringy. He was just being honest.
He was being honest.
So
he was
using Twitter on a couch.
Twitter the same way that all the other Twitter people out there were tweeting about stuff. They were angry. They were emotional. They got it out. I wish he didn't do it, but I think it was an opportunity for him and Staley to talk because Staley was asked about that. Like, hey, what did you talk to Keenan Allen? And it was like, yeah, hey, we had a conversation about it. I think we've grown together. And if anything, it's solidified. They're able to talk about it. They're able to hash out the feelings. It's not just like, Keenan Allen tweets that out. He's tweeting emotions out to the world, but you got somebody to talk to. You're basically telling your coach, like, what are we doing out there? And so you're able to sit down with the coach. It opens up a dialogue to have that kind of conversation, to get on the same level, get on the same page. And hopefully that is what ends up being the case going forward between the coach and Keenan Allen.
All of that could have happened without him having to show up as coach.
Yeah, it absolutely could have happened without it being in a public spotlight.
Yeah,
but
it was a poor choice. You don't call out your coach, and even if you don't agree with it, go to him, shoot him a text. If you felt like that, text his phone. He'll see it right after the game.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't like him trying to show up as coach on Twitter. He's not even at the game. He's sitting at home. Like, it's just not a good look.
No, it's not a good look, but I think
it has since been deleted, though. It no longer exists on Twitter.
That's when you know.
That's when you know you made a mistake.
That's when you know you effed up.
That's when you know. And I mean, I'm thankful that Coach Staley's like, yeah, no, he's benched. Going forward, he's not getting any touches or anything like that, or comes out, just as
you talk shit on me.
Emotionless.
You talk shit on me. Go sit down.
Yeah, no, you're done.
Please,
you're done. So no, I think bad look. Since been deleted. It's fine.
Yeah.
Let's all move on. Let's all go forward. Bobby Caldrone, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Coach Lago. Who asked the question.
So today was like, oh my God. Like, is anyone else tired of all the armchair GMs and coaches? Bruh, if you're so damn smart, go to the damn thing. Obviously you're talents are being wasted in whatever day job you currently have. Okay, I'm done. No more Twitter on game days for this bitch.
So what's up, mofos? It's been a minute. Still been listening to your motherfucking goofy buttholes. Just haven't had the time to give Wolldog the material he fucking deserves. Speaking of which, remember to lock your motherfucking phone, people. I keep notes on my phone for ideas about questions. Yesterday's motherfucking game caused some alcohol to be consumed. What a fucking start, huh? Fast fucking forward, and I may have gotten some shut-eye on the couch, leaving my phone open with the following motherfucking notes. Goofy buttholes, sexy baby voice, over-under on white hairs on the beard/hair. Mom was talking shit. I'll save the Mama Lago story for later.
Coach, can you show us what the difference in the one game was this last Sunday? Pretty please? How do they sustain that success? And Kevin, Trey is certainly no pumpkin now. Okay, love you, bye.
Lago. The idea that you just have notes open and drunkenly just throwing them down
just random
makes
things.
my day, honestly. That's amazing. Stream of consciousness notes.
It's great. Yeah, you wake up the next day. It's like elves just left you like a story of like goofy buttholes with sexy baby voices.
And over under on white hairs on a beard.
Hairs on beards.
And what about the mom story? You gotta have to don't leave us hanging.
Yeah, let's bring it back, Coach.
Run it back.
Let's know. Yeah, let us know what's going on. So the questions, Coach, show us the difference in the run game was this last Sunday. Pretty please.
Yeah, so what I'll do, what I can try to do, like I said, I'm not going back multiple weeks. So for me to know the difference, I'd have to look at what we've done the first 4 weeks.
Too much.
And put it against this last week.
It's not gonna happen. Too much. Yeah.
Let's just be real. My time availability for podcast work.
Folks. Come on.
I've got about 20 minutes before we record. So
right.
What I'll do is I'll look at.
He's kidding. He works a little harder.
4 years worth of footage. Go.
Yeah. I'll look at some of the big run plays to see what was successful, what we may have done. I'll try to look at that for Coach's Corner on Thursday. It didn't look like we got lucky. If you're running the ball successfully, it's not lucky. You don't get lucky on throwing a Hail Mary and getting some pass interference calls like Derek Carr does.
Right.
That's not the run. The run game is you can do it. You beat them up front. It's just consistency with the 5 guys we have up there, I think.
And Kevin, is Trey a pumpkin?
He's no longer a pumpkin in my book. He is a Pipkins. And the third, Trey, I don't know his middle name. Pipkins, the third is...
Maybe he doesn't have one.
Maybe he doesn't. Probably does. He's a big guy. He's a big guy. Needs a big name.
Why? Probably.
Most likely. It's just reality.
Give him a middle name by the end of the show.
Aloysius.
Something fitting of
Aloysius. Trey Aloysius Pipkins the
Classic
third.
middle name.
That's good.
Done.
All right. Coach Lago, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Tom Telesco's burner, who asked the question. Whoa. That was a ride, man. Shout out to Daniel Popper for asking the questions we all want and need to hear at the press conference. Joshua Kelly got 27 snaps this week because he helped change Lombardi's mindset to feed the hot-handed back. Staley, please don't go for it on our side of the field unless absolutely necessary. Even Keenan Allen was on Twitter questioning that call. Anyways, a win is a win, and that was a big one, man. Shout out to Lombardi for a great game plan that carried into the second half for the first time this year. Thanks again, Popper, for drilling down on that. Hey, is this Popper's podcast or the Charger chat, man? I don't know. I love how we subbed out Tillery for Covington on that 4th and 1 stop. That was huge. And that run pass balance on offense made me so happy, man. I guess it's safe to say Eckler got all the meat off the bone in that game, man. It was that nasty sandwich, Kev. Jamari on that run blocking was insane. I love you guys, man. What do you do? What do you guys think the team can improve on, and what's the biggest improvements you saw this week, man? I think we can improve on wide receiver blocking downfield and angles on defense. Also, this needs to be noted, a huge thing I was looking for. Staley controlled the team's energy perfectly when we went down 14-0 and made some great adjustments. That was a huge improvement for Staley and one of my biggest takeaways. K, love you guys, man. Bye. Also, Palmer was a bright spot in our wide receiver blocking, but Carter and others could use some work. Try Spiller as our RB3 instead of Sony this week, man. Bolt the up, bros. Ooh, that was a lot there, Tommy.
Tommy T, Kevin and Vernon. Yeah, it's good.
All right,
good points.
Yeah, what are some of the biggest improvements, and what do we want to see improved?
Go first, Kyle.
I mean, obviously the run game is the biggest improvement, right?
We can all agree on that, hands down.
Yeah. What do we want to see improved?
I want to see the linebackers get through some of these lanes and make these tackles before they get past them. That's really what I want to see, because that has not been good.
Yeah.
It really hasn't been.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was just a weird day. Like Derwin James, I feel like missed a bunch of tackles.
Yeah, it was a weird day for Derwin. He felt a little off.
He led the team in tackles, which is extremely impressive for a safety still. But yeah, the linebacker play seems somewhat inconsistent. Kenneth Murray's just a bat out of hell. He just flies into lead blocks.
He's scary, dude. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, he is just flying around. And Drew Tranquil feels like he has to cover up sometimes for Kenneth Murray just being maniac.
Yeah.
It's kind of good cop, bad cop a little bit between the two middle linebackers.
Love it.
So it just seems inconsistent. Sometimes they're there, they make great plays, and then sometimes it's just like, where the hell were we on that?
I think that'll show
up. Wide receiver blocking is always a thing you could get better at. DeAndre Carter is not a big boy. It's going to be hard for him to get downfield and maintain. Like he'll get in, I'm sure he'll have technique, he'll get in the right spot, but to maintain a block for as long as it takes, that's hard, man. You look at offensive linemen, they only have to hold a block for like a second and a half. Wide receivers, they're down the field. They got to hold that block for a long time. It is not an easy thing to do. And you will try to hold that block too long, you get called for holding penalties. It's just, it's a tough, it's a much tougher thing to do than what it appears. But yeah, I think we could get better in every aspect of football. Like we did not have a clean game.
Mm-hmm.
Our blocking could get better. Our passing could get better. Our blitz pickup could get better. Everything can get better. So I just hope they keep becoming more well-rounded team.
Yeah. I want to see JC Jackson get a little better too. Just a little tighter, just the coverage is a little tighter, closer to what he was doing in New England is what we're hoping for. We paid him a lot of money. So
that's what we want to see.
Get closer to where he was.
Mr. Interception, get some interceptions.
Yeah, we need that.
All right. Well, Tom Telesco's burner, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Mike Z, who asked the question.
My question is, why can't they get Carter and Bandy more involved in the offense, the absence of Allen?
I think you're certified fresh, I believe. So
Ooh.
Certified fresh.
There you go. Carter was certainly looking hot in the first few games this season, was certainly catching some targets, especially with Keenan Allen being down.
He's cooled off.
And Bandy's 2 for 2. I don't know why. I mean, we activated him for this last game. I was expecting to see him come out and make at least a couple catches and didn't see that either.
But it's just they're wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, right?
Absolutely.
It's not like they're the one guy. If Mike Williams wasn't having 140 yards a game, I'd be like, yeah, we need to get them more involved.
Absolutely.
But right now it's Mike Williams, Gerald Everett. Those are the go-to guys, and then Eck out of the backfield. Right. Carter and Bandy, they'll get targets if the other guys weren't open and able to make catches. But
that's true.
Why force the issue just to spread it out when Mike Williams is absolutely killing it? I wouldn't say our offense would be evolutionarily better if we started going to Bandy and Carter and stopped going to Mike Williams so much.
Well, it's also, look at those two guys. They're 6'3" to 6'5", and they're shorter guys. They're 5'11". They're little guys. There's a difference there. You're gonna have probably better opportunity for those contested stuff.
Mm-hmm. All good points, Mike Z. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Javon Gray,
certified fresh,
who asked the question.
A Browns fan asks you while walking into the stadium before the game, how you like $7 gas? How do you respond?
How do you like midges sitting on you in the middle of a game? Yeah. Like there's so many things. Yeah, you got to pay to live in a nice place.
That was a scary thing. I remember seeing Popper tweeting out about midges and how midges affected some game from a previous year, and was like, oh God, don't tell me this is like some kind of seventh plague bullshit going on out there. These guys are going to be getting bugs in their eyes and faces, and
the river turns to blood.
Yeah, exactly.
Firstborn start dying.
They just start disappearing. But no, blessedly, the midges didn't seem to be too big of a deal, at least for the players out there on the field. But yeah, how do I like
$7 gas? Does suck pretty hard though.
Sucks a
it's
big
not
one.
Fun at all.
Glug, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
Don't love it. Don't know why you would ask you that, but
weird. It's a weird kind of
question.
It's one of the like when we go to Kansas City, like enjoy your plane flight back to San Diego.
Yeah, enjoy your
like,
palm trees, dickheads.
Enjoy the beach, asshole.
You've been doing that, Adam.
I'm sorry. All right, let's move on so Kevin doesn't get too hurt. Javon Gray, thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Andres Robles, who asked the question.
What's up, boys? It feels great to wake up with a victory Monday, man. I just want to hear you guys' opinion on the decision to bench Nas with Keenan's tweets. What's that all about? Are they really questioning coach's decision? Thanks. K, love you. Bye.
Okay, the more we think about it, was Keenan just drunk?
Might have been.
Probably. Or hopped
He was
up
at
on
home,
pain pills.
or
for
was
his
just
game.
at
like
home, bored,
really
might have mixed
hiking
the
during
two.
game.
Maybe he
too.
was like super hydrated, like crazy hydrated, so he got a little drunk.
Too hydrated.
He was too hydrated. He's healing too much,
Yes.
and he got way too hydrated and got
Yes.
a little loopy.
Yeah, it's a
Was he
bummer. I mean,
drunk?
honestly, like that's the rest of people on Twitter after the game were, and they were being idiots too. So
But he
like,
deleted the tweet, so it didn't happen, folks.
That kind of
he
leans more
sobered
into the. Yeah, that leans more into it. Yeah.
It was like Coach Lago. He left the notes open. He went, "Oh shit," and he quickly deleted it.
exactly what happened. He's like,
Yeah.
"How many retweets do I have? Oh God, delete that thing." Yeah.
And with the Nas thing was interesting because, I don't think Alohi had a great first half. Like he was kind of,
It was a little worrisome.
he missed a couple tags. We were looking at it like, what's going on? And then, but thank God he saved that game.
Right. He
That,
was
we're not talking
right
about,
where he needed to be.
we're not talking about any of this fourth down shit if it wasn't for Alohi Gilman.
Right.
So,
I mean, honestly, we talk about Chris having an almanac in his back pocket. Coach Staley might have had an almanac in his back pocket to know that a missed field goal kick was coming and that Alohi would get that interception. He's like, I just have a feeling. Put Alohi Gilman
get him in there. Get the Hawaiian in there. We need him in there.
Yeah. So, all right. Andres Robles, thank you for asking the
Thanks,
question.
brother.
Let's move it on now to Nick, a.k.a. Dr. Defense. Huge.
Holy shit. He hasn't been here in a
Been a hot minute.
while.
Let's see what he's got to say.
Sergeant Lincoln Osiris reporting. Back from a little R&R. And by R&R, I mean ravaging and running that sorry-ass team. Sweet Mother Mary and the Herb and all that was a close one. I Googled the U.S. Deployment of Health's website for #1 cause of heart attacks in this country. Guess what came out on top? Being a Charger fan. Boy, am I glad our boys could pull out a win in that Cleveland Correctional Institution. Make them sorry for being eggs in one basket type of motherfucker. But god damn is our squad looking solid. Can we please address the fact that we had more rushing yards and average yards per rush than the lethal duo of the Chunt Machine? Eck and Kelly are stepping the fuck up. God, do I love Eckler with his smooth ass head. He is not some dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. He is him. I said what I said, bitch. He is the royal tomato, the untouchable bubble, the holy egg. But we also need to address where things were less than sweet and rosy. First, my 4-year-old nephew was kicked me in the gonads harder than Sebastian Joseph Day brushed Jacoby Brissett with that rush of the pass and penalty that made me lose 257 brain cells. If Brissett was a boxer, he'd be a featherweight with that fucking dive. Emphasis on the feather. I don't dislike going forward on that fourth down because fourth and Staley, am I right, boys? But I dislike the lamb booty play call there. If you disagree, then you can suck my unit. Regardless, we pulled out the win, and we should all be slamming the Henny in celebration that we came out in the midge-infested swamps with a smile on our face. I'll leave you with this. At what point do we start being concerned with J.C. Jackson's performance? I know there have been compounding factors against him, but he's been playing kind of booty cheeks lately. Maybe get him chugging on some of Alpha Ass's water. Over and out.
All right. Well,
booty
Nick.
cheeks.
Booty cheeks.
Holy shit.
Straight long booty.
Oh,
booty
boy.
cheeks.
So good to have you back, Nick.
So good to have you.
You're the best, man.
All right. So at what point do we start to be concerned about J.C. Jackson?
After the bye week. If he's not back in form after the bye week, we gotta have a talk. We gotta talk about that.
Yeah.
That
I think that seems fair.
Yeah, the booty cheeks.
I mean, do you think anything different, Kyle? I mean, as far as being concerned about him and his play?
I'm trying to think. Like, I'm wondering if I'm worried right now. You know, like, am I already a little bit worried about it? Because it's what's going to magically change. Hopefully he's healthier.
I think that's the idea, is that he gets an extra week to try to get healthier and try to get back into his peak performance.
And he's not exactly coming up against the best quarterbacks at the moment. So I think, after the bye, we're going to run into some of the good ones, some of the better ones. So if he can get his head right and get back to where he needs to be these next 2 weeks before the bye, after the bye, that first game after the bye, if he's still looking like this, that's when we got to start being like, what the hell's going on?
He's still booty cheeks after the bye.
Booty cheeks.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, Nick. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Carl Bollington. Who asked the question?
Strange things are afoot in the Chargers staff room. So the stats said, go for it. But do the stats take everything into account? Momentum, dude? Or the most heinous defense, the play calling, bogus referees, the bugs swarming the field? On paper, it was the right decision, but football is not played on paper. Let's call it divisive. On paper, we should have also lost to that last-minute field goal, dude. But we did it. 3-2, baby. A most outstanding win. Now, let's take down another team with heinous orange colors and hand out a most excellent ass-whooping to corny-ass Russ and a hacket of a coach that makes Staley's strategy today seem like genius-level stuff. They may be Broncos, but they are not wild stallions, dude. This should be the most triumphant Broncos country. Let's ride all the way to a 4-2 record. And remember, be excellent to each other. Except for the Raiders, dudes. F the Raiders. Okay, love you, bye.
All right.
Ted. Carl. Yes, I feel you, man. I'm with you. I'm on the same page with a lot of this, my man.
Yeah, I mean, do the stats take all of that crap into consideration?
Apparently, a lot of these are all a lot of the shit is built into this, like a win factor and all kinds of crazy shit.
Really?
They just don't. They don't tell you what factors
they check
in.
the midge box?
I don't know if there's a midge box in there. If there was, that give that guy a raise. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
because they're all different. They have all these different analytics from different. PFF has one. Chargers have one. We hired that. We talked about it like a year ago about them hiring these crazy MIT guys that do this stuff.
Right? Yeah.
I'm sure it takes into account a lot of this stuff.
I do think though that I swear I've heard Coach Staley come out and say I look at the analytics as part of football now. But there is some times where I go with my gut. I'm going with the momentum and the way the game's going and who I trust. And I just think he's just an aggressive coach.
Absolutely.
That's just what it is. And,
right. Stats are taken into consideration, but they're not the do all end all of decision making.
No. Because if that's the case, he would just come to his press conference and go, hey, the stats said do it, so I did it.
Right. Here's the charts.
It's not the case.
Everybody takes a look here.
True.
This is where it said we should go for it. All right, Carl Bollingtoft, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Kyle T.
Oh, I don't even have a fancy, funny lead-in. Hoo-ha. How shaken is your belief in Coach Staley? Mine is very shaken. Hoo-ha. And it's not by mistake. It's by the lack of accountability to it being a mistake afterwards. Hoo-ha.
That was a really good one. Holy shit, that was really good.
It's always fun when he gets quiet. He takes a minute.
Oh my god.
All right.
I'm not
shaken in belief. Nope. No, not a bit.
No,
not by one call. Our whole. No, I was more shaken after the Jacksonville game because
that was a bad loss. Yeah,
really bad.
Yeah.
I'm not shaken because he went for it on 4th down and 2.
Right.
It's what he's always done. If I would have been shaken by that, I would have been shaken last year when he first started and did all this crazy crap.
When you would have been shooken when he did it and it succeeded. You'd have been like, whoa, what was that? That was weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all the same thing.
I'm shaking.
It's the same. It's the same thing. It's just different outcomes. It's the same shit. I'm shook.
Yeah.
I'm shook.
I'm all shook up.
Hey. All right.
But no, not at all.
We are not shaken in our beliefs in Coach Staley. Kyle
Staley
T.
trust.
It's all good, though. You'll recover. You'll bounce back. I believe in you.
You got this, man.
Let's move it on now to Deadbolt, who asked the question.
I see nothing wrong with Staley's, shall we call it, risky behavior. No, quite the opposite. I find myself aroused by his defiance, thrust into the edges of ecstasy. Speaking of ecstatic, did you see the way Eckler penetrated the gaping holes in the Browns' defense? He rolls them like a genuine Cleveland steamer. Oh, yes. I found myself engorged with tremendous pride for those 5 mountains of man meats. Do you think our running game will continue to dominate our opponents to the point of submission?
I think the hardest part is knowing that he asked for a German perv voice to read that.
All right.
You guys are so good.
Love you, dude.
This is so
that was a good one.
That was really good.
That was
Holy
a winner.
shit.
So
do you think our running game will continue to dominate?
Yeah.
I hope so. I'd love to. We're about to run into a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
So if we can run the ball on them, even half of what we did here, it's going to be a great day.
I think if you can get 100 yards a game rushing, you're in really, really good shape with the way that our passing attack, the way it opens up everything.
Absolutely. I mean, we were going into this game being one of the lowest rushing teams in the entire NFL. So,
and the Browns they have a really bad run defense. Atlanta ran for over 200 yards on them the week before.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
Atlanta. I mean, Cleveland didn't have a great rush defense, so they were blaming it on the lack of Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett.
They were in there.
That didn't help a whole lot. I don't think we're going to see 200 yards a game rushing. If we can just get to the 100-yard mark, which we hadn't done before this week,
right?
I think that creates enough balance in our offense to have a 300-yard passing, 100-yard rushing. We could be really successful.
And there's a part of me that was kind of like a little bummed that Herbert didn't get like another consecutive 300-yard passing game.
That's okay. He's still going to.
I'm just saying it didn't matter. We won, but
W's.
I'd like to see 300 and 100. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean that was I think one of the more beautiful things is Kyle has been talking about it. Like we need a more balanced team, a team that can both run and pass the ball, and it just creates a better opportunity for the team. And we certainly got that this week with Eckler and Joshua Kelly. So. All right. Well, there you go, Deadbolt. Thank you for asking the question and writing a beautiful script. Let's move it on now to Charged Up in Virginia.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question?
Hi, guys. Longtime Chargers fan from Virginia here. Since the 80s, so I've gone through many of these ups and downs. And without a way to vent or celebrate collectively, since there aren't many fans out here that I know, love your show as it's a way for me to connect to a fan base from here on the East Coast. My question is, after listening to Staley explain himself yesterday, do you think he's at all being self-reflective after decisions such as that awful one he made yesterday? He's a bit defiant. I can't imagine the analytics backing up that call. Within the same sentence yesterday, he said he trusted the defense to get a stop. If they didn't get the first down, and I didn't want to punt it away and hope that we win. So which one is it? I didn't hear any reporter challenge him on that. If you trust your defense, give them some more yards to work with. I mean, Cleveland got the ball back, and that red field goal line was only like a few yards away. He got bailed out by their kicker, or it would have been a long week. I thought if he had lost that game, it was a fireable decision. Basically just handed them a chance after all that work from the team. I'm typically shamelessly positive, but he has lost my trust yesterday. Looking forward to your take. Keep up the good work.
No, don't do it. He's coaching different kind of football, man. This isn't your standard run-of-the-mill decisions that you're used to seeing.
Right.
It's different. These are good points.
They're good points, and I think
it is a good point.
He was trusting if he didn't get it, he was trusting his defense to be able to hold him as far back as they possibly could, which, to be fair, yes, the field goal line was only 10 yards away, but they still held them to the point of having to kick a 54-yard field goal. and that ended up being a miss. That was too hard for the kicker. So
maybe he doesn't trust the special teams. Maybe that's the factor.
That could be a possibility too. I don't know how
I'm trying to find
special teams is necessarily performed.
This message bums me out because it's like you're gone. You've lost trust in him entirely. Like, well, that's a bummer, man. Because he's going to keep doing this. He's going to keep doing it. Right. So it's more fun to embrace it.
I just feel like because we didn't get the fourth down, no one's taking into account the possibility that we could have converted that fourth down.
Right.
It's like because we didn't get it, it was, how on earth do you make that decision? But if we do get it, it's game over. We take a knee.
Right.
So that I don't know. It's just hard.
It is.
I understand the frustration. When he first did it, I was like, wait, we're not just going to punt this down there and force them.
A little shocking. Yeah.
It's shocking for sure. But like, I don't know. That's just conventional football. And it's taking out the opportunity to end the game. We needed 2 yards to end the game. Right. And if you don't, they still have to go 20 yards and they still have to kick a 56-yard field goal. But none of that matters if we get the 2 yards. It's game over.
Right. It's a risky, it's what Staley's identity is. He's going to risk it. I mean, it's, huge payoff and huge loss if it ends up going, one way or the other. And he has said it before, and Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler have said, like, yeah, we knew that coach trusts us. He trusts us to get the couple downs that we're supposed to get. We didn't get it, but I think we've seen him get the fourth down more often than not. And it's got to instill in the players a sense of faith and trust that they can get it done. And it just didn't
even
work.
An identity. It's become part of our identity as a team.
Right.
And you have to have that to be successful. You have to know what your team's about. And that's what the Chargers are.
Absolutely.
And this defense got called out hard. Step up. These are step up moments. We need you to step up. Like he's challenging them to step up.
Right.
I can see the frustration from you charged up in Virginia. I hear it in your voice through Wool Dog. But I think we're going to see more positives with this approach than negatives. And this negative still resulted in a win. I know you could say it was a missed kick. We still got the win. So
but we could have punted and they turn. How many times have we seen? We punt, they get the ball at the 15, they throw the ball 20 yards, get out of bounds.
Right.
Clock stop.
Right.
They throw the ball in the middle of the field. They clock it with a second left and they kick the field goal to win. Like we've seen that before.
Right.
I don't want to see that ever again. Right. I would rather us go try to end it with getting 2 yards with our Pro Bowl quarterback, with an all-pro wide receiver. Like that. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard because I think it's just challenging so many people's, like, this is what football is, but that's what Coach Lynn was. That's what Coach Lynn was, and we hated it. That's what Mike McCoy was, and we hated it.
Right.
And now we have a coach not doing it, and
that's
now
willing to take a chance. And when it doesn't go our way, the knives come out. So
I would have loved to see Phillip Rivers play under a coach like this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just the I don't know. It's more fun to watch.
The aggressiveness of it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, charged up in Virginia. Hope you come back. Hope
don't
we
be
can
a stranger.
For you.
Yeah. Hopefully Staley earns you back a little bit. Maybe.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
Fingers
Super
are
Bowls
crossed.
can earn a
Super
lot of
Bowls
people.
will learn
It'll learn a lot of respect. Let's move it on out to Noah Noel, who asked the question.
What are your thoughts on half of our fan base wanting to burn it down and call it for Staley's head?
It's emotional is what it is.
Right.
I don't want to say if you've been a fan for a long time, you kind of might have a slightly different perspective on this, but like this is the coaching I want to see. We just talked about it in the last thing. Like the amount of conservative times we'd get in the fourth quarter, be conservative and get our asses kicked by some fluky weird shit. I just don't want to see it anymore. I've seen enough of it. I've seen years of it.
Yeah.
This is different. It's not necessarily always better, but it's different and it's more aggressive. And it's what I would do.
Right. Let's not call for Staley's head.
It's too much. It's
over
like
one play.
You can, their coaches sign up to to be accountable for this shit to their fan base. Because we are the reason why they are a team. We pay for all the stuff. We buy the tickets. We buy the jerseys. We buy the hats. We buy all the shit. So you are allowed to be pissed off at him.
Right.
But calling for his head,
firing.
Watch more of the NFL and what's going on with some of these coaching
this
decisions.
Isn't like
and shit.
Matt Rule getting fired from.
No, this
Carolina
isn't like
Panthers midseason.
What is it? Hackett over at the Broncos, like coming out after that first game, being like, "Yeah, I should have kicked. We shouldn't have kicked that field goal."
Right.
Like that. You don't want to see that. There's no confidence in that. Coach's confidence. I follow confidence. I feel good about his confidence.
There you go. I love it. I love it. Noah Noel, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Humboldt County fan.
Yeah.
Who asked the question? All right. It sure was nice to get a W. It's a lot more fun to win a game you should lose than lose a game you should have won, man. There's a lot of people talking a lot of shit about Coach Staley right now, but I'll tell you what, it'd be a lot cooler if we all had some of whatever he was smoking on that 4th down call, man. Maybe that's not what anybody else would do in that situation, but you just got to let Staley be Staley. Kick back and enjoy the ride. Let me tell you this. The older you get, the more rules they're going to try to get you to follow. You just got to keep living, man. LIVIN. Fuck the Raiders, man. I love those redheads.
Amen, Humboldt County fan.
That's right.
Love that positivity, brother.
Keep it up.
Yeah, I don't know what he was smoking, but it's good.
Don't take a piece.
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
All right, Humboldt County fan, thank you for bringing the little positivity. Let's move it on now to MJ, who asked the question.
Anyone who knows me knows Denver is my #1 enemy. We have all sorts of phrases and hashtags for the Raiders, but they absolutely suck. It's officially Bronco Week. What hashtags or phrases do you have to help pump everyone up in the Monday Night Football?
Ride this lightning.
Ride the lightning, baby.
Ride this lightning, pals.
Ride this lightning.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Let's ride. Ride this lightning.
Hashtag ride this lightning. That's a lot of characters for a tweet, my friend.
Hey, I've seen longer.
Ride this bolt.
Ride this bolt. Bolt up your Broncos ass. I don't know.
It's much shorter. much tighter.
It's very illiterate. Bolt
it's
up
more
Bronco
visual,
butt.
really. That last one was more visual than anything. I am into that, I think.
All right. Well,
Ride the Lightning's also a Metallica song. So Ride This Lightning is a Charger Chat song.
I'm
and let's
following
sing it from
logic,
the rooftops.
Yes. All right. Well, if you've got a better Denver hashtag, let us know. Put it down in the comments. Let MJ know because he wants to hashtag the heck out of his #1 enemy.
Hashtag Ride
the Broncos. So, all right. MJ, thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Blonded Surfer.
All right.
Who asked the question?
I love Staley. I really do. But that 4th down decision, it was a very tough coconut to defend. Anyway, like a great surfer once said, if you aren't peeling your own banana, someone else is. How about some positivity? It's Monday night against the Donkeys. Wahoo! How many picks does Russ throw? What's going to be the key to this win? All right, take it easy, surfing bro chachos. Broncos country, let's let Russ burn everything in the fucking kitchen and watch each other cry. Can't love you, bye.
Oh, that was good.
All right.
How many picks? I like the fan focus Chris's pick where JC will grab one during the Manning cast when we're talking to Pete Carroll.
I think we're good for 2 picks.
I think 2 picks is good. 3 sacks, 2 picks.
He's going to be under pressure. His starting left tackle is now out for the season.
Right.
They weren't strong as it is. They're down Javonte Williams for the season. They're going to be throwing the rock a little bit. Melvin Gordon's good for a fumble a game.
At least.
At least.
Yeah, I think the picks will come.
How about 2 picks, 1 fumble, 3 sacks?
I like
I'll take it.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
There you go. All right.
The keys to the game.
Yeah.
We just can't if we just play clean football, there's no way they can beat us.
Keep it clean.
Keep it clean.
Keep it clean out there.
No penalties, no turnovers. Get it
Keep
done.
it clean.
Ride this lightning.
Blonded Server, thank you for asking the question. And then we go out of Ask Boltfam with the Broads.
Yeah.
Who asked the question? OMG, guys. Did you see that game? That was like totes crazy, right? Did you see that Alohi Gilman interception? More like aloha have my babies. And did you see that fourth down we didn't convert towards the end of the game? That was like totally scary. We were like, OMG, are we going to lose? But then the big G was like, don't worry, Booze, I got yous. And he totally made that poo-poo Browns kicker miss. That was so fetch. I love when the Browns kicker misses. That's probably our favorite thing in football. Miss it, miss it, miss it. We want more Coach's Corner. So here's a question for you, Coach Kylie Wiley. What were some of Josh Kelly's best rushes? And what was happening with the O-line to help make them possible? And our question for all of you, what is a quality you admire in each of your co-hosts? Like, bolt up. And we hope both the Chiefs and Ray Turds lose tonight. Losers! With a big old L. You got to put it right there on your friggin' head. All right. The Broads, thank you.
I live vicariously through their Instagram when it's game day because they're in front row of all these games.
Those of you that struggle with the positivity, I implore you to go follow the Brisket Broads, especially on Instagram. They will lift your spirits, I promise you.
And if you hate how positive we are, you might want to take a back seat on that one.
Okay, if you're not into positivity, number one, I don't know why you're listening to this podcast.
Turn it off.
They even when I get down and I'm shamelessly positive, they lift me up.
There you go. Yeah, they are the wind beneath our wings.
Shaped glasses.
They are
the best. They start the day off right for sure. All right, so Coach Kylie Wiley, you want to look at Josh Kelly specifically?
Sure, yeah.
That kind of narrowed it down.
We'll tag team together.
Yes, this is nice.
We'll look at Josh Kelly's runs and what part of that can be sustainable moving forward.
There we go. We got
Perfect.
specific.
Great
Love
work,
it.
guys.
All right. And then what are qualities you admire in each of your co-hosts?
This is real.
Kyle's
really real.
Kyle's stubbornness, and I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate it.
Backhanded.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I appreciate that about you. Like no matter
come
what,
up with a different word than stubborn, like
his
strong-willed
conviction
or conviction. Not stubborn, you jackass.
You jerk.
Super duper confident.
These are not compliments, Kevin. These are not good qualities.
Kyle's super duper confident.
I love it.
All right, let's close it out. Okay, love you. Bye.
See how confident that was? Super duper.
Man.
That's too funny.
I'd say your sense of humor, Will Dog, really just. I hurt myself a couple days ago, and I can't even. I laughed through it all, and I had to, and it hurt every second, and I'm proud of it. Thank you for making me laugh. You asshole.
I'll go real because Kevin's just not nice.
Keep it real.
I love you, Kyle. I'm just kidding.
Adam is authentic. He's an extremely authentic person.
Well,
he's not fake. He's very authentic. If you get to know Adam, you know Adam. You're not going to get some weird washed version.
No.
Kevin is very passionate. I love your passion for everything.
I love you.
Passion for Chargers, passion for film, and passion for your family. You're a very passionate person.
All right, fine. If we're going to get real.
That's what the Broads wanted.
If they want it.
They want it friggin' real, Kevin.
I look up to your fathering. Like I want to be as good of a dad as you are to your kids. That is how I look at you. You are a super dad. We just got real.
There you go.
And Adam?
All right. Kyle, the quality that I enjoy about you is that you keep us in check. You are somebody that
you won't let us go off the handle.
A little bit of a judge. Yeah.
You because I think if it was just me and Kevin, it would be like sunshine, lollipops every week, regardless of the outcome.
Rainbows shooting out of our asses
and
everywhere.
Not that you necessarily bring it down, but you're there to basically remind us of like this is football and this is how the game is played and this is
order.
They can't get 1,000 yards a game. That doesn't work, guys.
Yeah.
So no, I appreciate you being able and to help not just everyone else, but to help me understand the game better.
Yeah, I'm learning every week from you. So.
Yeah, I think everyone can say that about you. And Kevin, I the quality that I admire in you is the amount of times that you have interviewed so many people that have been a part of this podcast. You have made this podcast so inclusive for everybody that wants to be a part of it and wants to share their love for a team, you know, that especially during times like this where it gets tough, especially like on Twitter and social media, even our own postings on YouTube, where it's just like there are people that are commenting on our videos that are just like, no, man, Staley ain't it, and blah, blah, blah. You bring people into this podcast and make the family grow. You force the family to
You're
grow.
gonna like it.
You get in here. You're part of the Bolt fam now.
Thanks, man.
So no, the genuineness that you bring to that is awesome. And we ended on such a happy note.
Wow, that
I love
was
this.
thanks, so positive.
Wow, thank you. Brisket
brought us
Bros.
together.
Thank you for asking the question. And thank you, everybody, for asking questions and Ask Bolt Fam. I knew it was going to be salty and sweet, but hey, we made it through.
Ever so neat.
We got the
It wasn't that salty. It was like a light little sea salt on a chocolate.
Just a little salt base.
Salty tier seasoning.
Yes.
Oh, who we playing Monday?
Salty tier seasoning.
Gordon.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Any final thoughts there, gentlemen?
No.
Ride this lightning.
Let's
ride this lightning, baby.
All right, folks. That's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
You fuck.
And now, a word from our sponsors. When the game's on the line and you need some extra juice on your side, who do you call? The Misfit Men, of course. The Misfit Men are the only ones with enough juju to help your team when you need it most. Their creative chants harness the energy around them to make dreams a reality. Whether you need a shank, a whiff, a doink, or even the elusive double doink, the Misfit Men are there for you. So call today and get the Misfit Men to help you.
Offer not valid for Raiders, Broncos, or Chiefs.